Today, on the Average Joes of Arizona, we're going to install a hand throttle control kit on the YJ. Okay, here we go. We're going to start on this hand throttle control unit by TeraFlex. First things first, I got the did inventory of the parts, make sure they're all there. I got all the parts laying out, and we're going to do step one. I'm going to remove the shift knob on the vehicle. Okay, take off the shift knob, pretty easy operation. Just winds off. So you just put a little crescent wrench or some kind of wrench, whatever you got, so that you screw this on, then you tighten it down. So that's step one. Alright, so step two, what they want you to do, they get this rubber grommet, and this has got to go on here. Now the one end is fairly open, this is a little tight. The key to this, it has to be snug. It'll sit down here, and it has to be snug. It can't be tight. So they say to you can take it and ream the end out a little bit with a drill. That's what I'm going to do. I tried putting it on, and it's not quite going. It's like force it on there, but it's just not quite. So I'm just going to ream it out just a little bit. See if that helps. Alright, so what I did is ream that out a little bit, and didn't do much to it, but used like I don't know what size it did. It just grabbed up a drill that was a little bit bigger, took off a little bit, but it's going to be a bugger to get on. There we go. It started to go. So what I did is you got a deep set socket, because it just can't get a good grip with the thumbs on this, so I'm trying to put it over and then push it down. See if that helps. Yeah. Okay, on the next section, what we have to do, we reinstalled the shifter knob, and what we're doing is we've got to drill a hole to mount the L bracket into the engine bracket that houses the throttle. Now, what I'm looking at is where the throttle is housed here. This is the engine bracket they're talking about. And if you see that hole there, the cable will come through there. We've got to drill a hole through this side, put the L bracket on, cable will go through, and then it will attach to this point here, right next to the regular accelerator cable. Okay, off camera, well, a second ago I took and tightened this down, this bolt, to German specifications of good and tight. That's not going to go anywhere. That's nice and good and tight. So next step is to run the cable. Okay, so what we have here, and it's not addressed in the instructions on this, we have a cable, and I don't know if you can see that. The one end has a stop, built-in stop gap. Obviously we have to put the cable through the protective coating on there. The other end is just on the cable, just a normal, just the end of the cable, and that will go to the accelerator. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this and fish this through. First I'm going to fish it through the thumb control unit there, and then we're going to put the rest of the rubber coating over the wire. But alright, getting a little dark in the garage here, so probably be the last clip for the day. I'm going to try to do here, you can see this little hole. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's going to feed through it, and then there's another part that needs to feed through the back of it. So you can see that fits nicely right inside there. So that's complete there. Alright, so what I did is I got some white lithium grease, had some laying around here, and just going to take a little bit of it, dab, whatever, and just start to put a light coating of some lithium grease on it, just some whatever you got around, I guess. Just wanted to make sure that it didn't bind in that. We're going to run this through here and see. One of the reasons why I got this kit was this cable. It's got to be estimated probably about 10 foot long. If you do it yourself with a bike cable, that's probably going to be the hardest part, finding a cable, a bike cable that is that long. You might have to special order it, which would probably cost you a few bucks anyway. So I figured this kit, everything's there. I don't have to get creative and try to order certain things for it. So that's another reason why I went with this kit. So where we last left off at night, got too dark to see a lot of this stuff. I got the thumb control installed on there, and I just put the wire on. I lubed it up with some white grease. Put the coating on the wire. And the next step, they want us to run the instructions say to run the throttle cable through the boot, out the bottom, up through the bottom here, and drill through. There's a rubber grommet. Drill through rubber grommet, and then take it in there. However, I'm just going to run it down. I've got plenty of room. We take a look down below on the transfer case transmission area. I don't know if you can see it, where the shifter comes out there. I'm just going to drop it down through there, if I can. Drop it down, and then just zip tie it to the top of there and run it up that way. That way I don't have to drill through the firewall, anything like that. We'll see how that works. Looks good. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not. I did run it through that hole right there. The shifter came down, and then it's just laying on the top of the transmission. I may tie wire it. If you look up, way hard to see. Hold on a second, I'll get the camera good. On the firewall, there's a black wire that is going through it. Can't get my hand up there to point it out. Anyway, you'll see that larger okay, you got this wire followed up. It's the next one over where my finger is. That's going up. So I routed it basically through the boot on top of the transmission and up the firewall. Okay, so next, here's the cable. I'm going to run it behind here, and I'm going to zip tie it to the throttle cable. And I've got the, you probably can't see it, I'll have to show it to you at a different angle. Looks like the cruise control portion here. I'll just run through the cable there. I'll zip tie it to the regular throttle cable. So I brought it around. Here's the throttle cable. Put a couple of zip ties on that. Even it out, and then see really close there. It's a throttle cable holder, and this apparently is for the cruise control, I'm thinking. Either one of them. But this doesn't have the cruise control, so we're just going to use that there. It'll be perfect. And looks like going through the bottom like I did, I've got enough protective loom wire or coating to get right to the throttle, to the linkage. So we'll set that up next. Okay, so we got the cable up to the throttle body, or to the bracket. Got the L bracket mounted, tightened down. L bracket is, yeah, I mounted it this way. Next, what we're going to do is put on the cable mounting bracket. What we have to do here, I don't know if you can see it, is a piece that comes out. I'm going to put this on, you can see that. Okay, so I took the air intake off to get some better better access to it. I couldn't get down here to crimp it. That's too high that I wanted, but it'll have to do for now. Find something later at the hardware store that might contain it better. I use some electrical crimps. I use the piece right here. complete. Let's test it out. Alright. Looks like it's working pretty good.